Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about The Flash because we got a couple of articles that we need to break down, including who could potentially be the new Flash. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos later this year. So we're going to be going through two articles, one from CBR and one is from Screen Rant. They'll be linked in the description below so you can go ahead and read those articles to yourself. But let's jump right into the first article. The first article is all about who could potentially be the DCU's Flash. Now, obviously we know that Wally West could potentially show up first because they're doing Teen Titans, and right now a Flash film hasn't been confirmed, even though James Gunn has talked about it, but it's clearly on the back burner for now due to, the Flash very much so underperforming in terms of the Ezra Miller film. So the article that we're breaking down is The Flash art imagines Glen Powell as the DCU's Scarlet Speedster. So obviously right now Glen Powell is one of the hottest actors in Hollywood. He is in a lot of different films, a lot of different projects that everyone wants to watch. Obviously he did Twisters recently and Top Gun, of course. So let's talk about him as the Scarlet Speedster. So digital artist John Regan recently shared some artwork on Instagram imagining Powell as Barry Allen, aka The Flash. You can see it on the screen right here, wearing a suit reminiscent of the one Grant Gustin wore during the later seasons of the CW's The Flash. So you can see it on the screen right here. Obviously this is just a mock-up of something that fans have been imagining for, I guess, a while now, because he is a pretty popular actor in Hollywood. And yeah, the suit, quite similar to Grant Gustin's suit. It's a bit more padded. However, I don't think Glen Powell needs the pads because he is a big guy and he's definitely a lot bigger than Grant Gustin. But yeah, it's kind of like a CW Flash type suit, but yeah, it looks a little bit more advanced, I would say. So yeah, I like the suit, I like the look. I am a fan of Glenn. I think he is a good actor. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. Do you think he is up for playing the Flash? I think he would make a great kind of traditional Barry Allen. I would say Barry Allen kind of looks like a Glen Powell type person in the comics. He's got the blonde hair. He is a lot bigger. Like even Grant Gustin said, he wasn't expecting to get the role of the Flash because Barry in the comics is kind of more like Glen Powell, I guess, as a good example. So why not go comic book accurate, go with someone like Glen Powell, who is a big guy, he's got the hair, he's got the looks, and I think he is very charismatic, which I think is very important for Barry Allen. That's what Grant had in spades, and that's probably what got him the role. Like, he's got the face, he's got the kind of charm, I guess, of Barry Allen. So I think the DCU could do a lot worse than Glen Powell. I think he would be a great choice to play Barry Allen. Also, he is old enough to play him. He's not too young, so he's not going to be like Wally West or something. So I think, yeah, he can make a good Barry Allen. So the article goes on to talk about how he's a fan favorite and the fan casting community have been imagining him doing lots of different roles, including the likes of Green Lantern and also Batman. I saw that quite a lot recently in like the last year or so. Also in Marvel, people have been imagining him showing up. I'm guessing he's going to show up someday in either DC or Marvel, or even both of them, because he is such a big actor right now, and I feel like he has a lot of draw, and those companies would definitely want to harness that if they can get him. And as the article states, the Barry Allen version of The Flash is possibly the superhero that fans want to see Powell play on the big screen the most, with fellow DC hero Booster Gold, who is confirmed to be getting his own show in the DCU, right up there. So that could be two good options for him and his DC characters. And yeah, shout out to John Cregan for this good mock-up of what Glen Powell could look like as the Flash. So there you have it, that is that part of the video done. Let's move on to the second main topic of today's video. This is from Screen Rant, link will be in the description below, as I said. This is the title of the article, and it's a op-ed piece, so it's someone's opinion, and the title is, I'm convinced there is no better DCU Flash than Grant Gustin, and he could save the character after the DCEU movie Disappointment. So that's a strong statement to start the article with. Obviously that is the title. Screen Rant does like the long titles right now. But let's go ahead and read through what he has to say in this op-ed and give my thoughts and opinions and my analysis on what is said. So the Arrowverse's Grant Gustin is the best actor to make the Flash popular in the new DC universe after the Speedster's first movie bombed at the box office. Now, straight up, just with that first line, I have to completely agree with him. I think, and I believe I actually said this recently, Grant Gustin is the way to go forward with the Flash, because I don't think anyone's going to live up to what Grant Gustin did, right? Like, when you think Barry Allen, you think Grant Gustin, you don't think of Ezra Miller, right? So I think he is definitely the best actor, so I completely agree that he should return as the Flash, and he could revive that Flash character, and it could be a big draw for a lot of people out there wanting to see his return as the Flash. But let's continue with this article. So they say a lot of expectations were created surrounding Ezra Miller's Flash. I was excited to see what the movie could do, as it was the first time that the Speedster had a film to call his own, which was very true, and I was really looking forward to it. I do feel like the CGI let it down and a few different things, but I did enjoy The Flash, and it was a decent film, but it really didn't do well at the box office, and it just wasn't meant to be, I feel like, as one of the final nails in the coffin for the DCEU. So The Flash grossed $271 million on a reported $200 million budget, which obviously isn't super good if you factor in marketing and everything like that. So it's one of the biggest box office bombs in superhero movie history. Obviously there's been quite a lot as well, so it's not alone in that. So that was not good for the Flash's name with the general audience, which is very true, because now I guess some people that have seen the film are like, not really interested in the Flash, look at what they did with Ezra Miller, if they potentially haven't seen Grant Gustin's Flash. So they continue by saying, while Miller's take on the character was far from beloved, audiences flocked to see Grant Gustin's Barry Allen, who graced the small screens for 9 seasons of The Flash on the CW. I'm a big fan of what Grant did with the character in the Arrowverse. After some recent comments about the Flash movie and the character's future in the upcoming DCU projects, I think Grant Gustin could save Barry Allen. This is where the article is heading. He is going to give his opinion on why the DCU needs Grant Gustin, which I completely agree with, and also it should be said that Grant is very open to returning. He even talked about doing like a return series, like a mini series of like a few episodes, and he would be creatively kind of in control a little bit, but also returning to act as Barry Allen on the small screen. Obviously that's all just theoretical right now. He was just asked a question and he answered would he be interested, and he said yes. So the next part of the article goes like this. After The Flash failed alongside other 2023 DCEU movies, it was revealed that the cast of the franchise's Justice League would all leave their roles, and obviously the DCU was brought in instead. So now the time has come to start thinking about who's going to be in that new Justice League that they're creating in the DCU, and also think about the Flash's future in the movies, because we need the Flash if we're doing the DCU, but it's just a question of how are they going to do that? So Gunn recently said that they are holding a beat on development on The Flash in the DCU, with 2023's The Flash failing so spectacularly that DC is now cautious about using the character in films, which I'm not happy about, which I completely agree with, because I feel like it's just not anything to do with The Flash. I feel like it's to do with Ezra. I feel like it's to do with the filmmaking and just what Andy Muschietti did as a whole. I don't think worked. They could have changed a lot, and I think it would have done a lot better, and because people didn't like it and it just didn't have a good reputation, why would anyone go to the cinema and watch it if there is so much negativity surrounding the film? And even Flash director Andy Muschietti made some comments recently about the film's failure, suggesting that the Flash is not a character people like, and as the article states, I'm fiercely against that opinion, as the Flash can and should work in live action like Grant Gustin. So I completely agree, and this is what they had to say about Grant Gustin's 10-year run as Barry Allen, which shows that the Flash works in live action 100%. So while Muschietti's The Flash might have failed with Ezra Miller as Barry Allen, the Arrowverse showed just how successful the character can be in live action. Over 9 seasons, multiple crossover events, and more Arrowverse appearances, Grant Gustin cemented himself as the definitive live action Flash in the eyes of many. So you just don't want to follow that up. So Ezra, I feel, just wasn't ever going to live up to the expectations, and it just didn't help that he wasn't in a perfect film. He wasn't in a very good film. It was a fine film. It was a entertaining film at points, but it wasn't perfect in any way. So they go on to say, I was a fan of Gustin's Barry Allen from the moment he debuted, appearing as a guest star in 2 episodes of Arrow. Gustin made Barry incredibly charismatic, funny, and a character worth following. Even though he did not have his powers yet, his acting in the role was fantastic. I have to say, I have really similar thoughts. He's just so charismatic. Like, you see him, he's relatable, he's just a normal person who happens to get superpowers at the end of his final appearance on Arrow during that season, and then you see him on The Flash and he is just that same person. That is Grant performing to the utmost of his abilities as he truly understands what it means to be Barry Allen. So with that, we know that Grant Gustin is open to joining the DCU, and James Gunn potentially wants him to come. We've had lots of talk between the two of them, and we know that potentially later down the line there is always a possibility that Grant could show up as the Flash. And according to James Gunn, the Arrowverse star is a talented actor that he would love to work with in the future, and that comment could line up with the idea that DC is taking some time to assess what to do with the Flash. Which actually I feel works to Grant's benefit, because if they were going to rush into it now, I do feel like they would have cast someone else. But if they wait some time and actually think about, okay, like, let's look back at the Flash TV show, what worked about it? Well, it was Grant Gustin, right? Like, yeah, the writing, yeah, everything else. But at the end of the day, Grant really embodied Barry Allen to the utmost of his abilities, and people became super connected, and they are still connected to this day. Like, I've told you guys in recent videos, there is this Comic-Con event going on in May this year, and it's up in Liverpool, so I'm going to go to that. And the only reason that I want to go to that is because Grant Gustin's going there, right? So I myself have connected to Grant Gustin and his Flash and his Barry Allen because of what he did. He's just so charismatic and just has a great screen presence, and it's almost impossible not to fall in love with what he does with his Barry Allen from literally the first episode that you see him in Arrow. So that pretty much does it for this video, guys. Go check out those articles in the links in the description below, and if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment, and also subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. Got lots of videos planned over the next couple of weeks, so stick around, watch some recent videos. I would really appreciate the support on the channel as we go through a couple of changes since the end of the Arrowverse. But for now, you can click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.